So it's me. I'm sorry, it's too long, right? So many times is like my student asked to me, Dr. Gon, I want to increase my running performance, especially long distance, at least 5 kilometers. So which food should I eat? Like that kind of approach, right? That case, many times I said, just water and fasting is really helpful, right? Usually we are a little bit overweight, right? Yeah, it's a general population, right? So they do not really need to eat to tell the truth, to tell the truth. But to say that, you should understand the mechanism. But many magazine, you need to eat this one, you need to eat this one, and this one, this after this one. But especially for endurance running, we need the catabolic status, right? So eat less is much better. Fasting is much better. And safety cost we just keep talking about, because this is power exercise, high quality, high intensity. Not everybody can do that, right? So there are lots of considerations. So this is why only selected people can do it. Doesn't make sense. So technique, before adding any drill, the strength and conditioning professional must demonstrate proper technique to the athlete. See, our class is here. So you guys kinesiology major, you guys kind of person to teach, is right? So this is why as a kinesiology major, we need to practice a lot. We need to practice a lot. If this is like an in-person class, I would like to practice a lot and even spend every day, like whole semester, because you need to demonstrate. Doesn't make sense. But to demonstrate, there are prerequisites like a strength. So you need to increase your strength, is right? So that case, maybe early semester, I keep asking you, measure your 1RM, because to increase strength, you need your, you should know your 1RM is right. But I believe, I'm not really sure, our student, kinesiology students right now, you guys, right? Do you know your 1RM? If I ask, maybe only 10 or 15% student, 15% student can have their 1RM. So it means that student has possibility to exercise strength because they know their 1RM is right. But many times even kinesiologists don't know their 1RM, which means they do not really exercise, is right. So they do not really exercise resistance training is proper exercise intensity. So usually their strength is not really good. So that case, they would like to demonstrate the plyometric, but their strength is not ready. So how they can do really good, like a person to perform is a correct form is using to demonstrate this plyometry, is right? It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So to demonstrate plyometry, you need to practice plyometry. Before the plyometry, you need really good strength, is right? How to increase our strength? The prerequisite is hypertrophy and endurance, right? So this is kind of like a spectrum, right? So kind of a sequence, right? Sequence. But it's not too many kinesiologists will exercise, do not really exercise during this pandemic period. But this is kind of problem. So I really motivate you guys, right? You need like expert to exercise. So as a kinesiology major, we need really exercise frequently. Not just sports or physical activity, exercise. So you should calculate, oh, this is my exercise program. You should do, right? Doesn't make sense, like this kind of approach. Not just go there and just lifting weight, right? Not like this. That is just physical activity. And another one, because there are many jobs, because this is kind of contagious, right? So proper landing technique is essential. Right? So doesn't make sense. But you cannot get this kind of technique easily, right? You should practice, and you should practice. Sometimes when you practice, if your body mass is too heavy, it can be a little bit dangerous. So sometimes you should reduce your body mass too, right? So it doesn't make sense. So what is the proper landing position? Is like this. So how about class? Did you remember amortization phase is right? So whole foot, it should be flat foot is right. So flat foot doesn't make sense. Not forefoot, not heel, but flat foot is right. Doesn't make sense. And knee should be aligned with our shoulder, and it should be like this kind of straight. Doesn't make sense. Sometimes, especially females athlete has a longer leg and they have a Q angle, so it's not like a straight. It can be considerable, right? Oh, you can do that plyometric training is like this. I think next slide, I think I show you. So shoulder are in line with the knee, which have to place the center of gravity over the body base of support. So doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Should it be like this? Should it be like this? Should it be like this? Yeah. See, it's sometime they have a Q angle, so it can be dangerous. Yeah. It should be line. Should be line. So it means some people is genetically they have this kind of angle. That case you should think about it. Plyometric is really help, or it can be worse as well. Doesn't make sense. That case I had a better focus more endurance, hypertrophy, strength, and we have really good angle. It's time to start plyometric. If we do not have really good angle, had better don't do that. Yeah, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. And next one is, oh, how many times Dr. Gon keeps saying strength is important, strength is important. Maybe some student, like how about we have motor kids here. So Dr. Gon, you said strength is important for plyometry. So can you like objectively say, so how? For example, you should lift 1.5 times of your body mass using squat. That can be enough strength for plyometry. Doesn't make sense? Doesn't make sense? Like this kind of approach. So here, this is kind of here. So if you train your athlete plyometry, but if they hurt and if they sue you, that case, maybe at the court, you need to show the evidence. This athlete has enough strength. So how can you say that? I think this one is important. So class, could you see it here? For lower body plyometry, the athlete's 1RM squat should be at least 1.5 times his or her body weight. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Class, could you type your 1RM squat multiply? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How about like this? Your squat 1RM divided by your body mass. Could you write down your ratio? If student, you know your 1RM. Any student, oh, no, how about previously? Any time is okay. Your 1RM squat divided by your body mass. Any student have more than 1.5 times? Any student? For example, how about, oh, we have Carlos is right. It's Carlos 1RM is 300 pounds, but his body mass is 150 pounds. That case, number is 2 is right. Any student know your 1RM and your body mass? Or how about class? Your 1RM divided by your body mass, how many students higher than 1.5? Any student? How about, oh, Taji, I think Taji has, yes, right. Taji, he can lift his squat more than 1.5 times. Any other student? How about just my impression is only one student, so it means only Taj can do plyometry. Doesn't make sense? Doesn't make sense? Is it right? But did you remember our real world? They make this one like cardiovascular fitness. Everybody can do that, right? So it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Or for upper body plyometric, the bench press 1RM should be at least 1. So usually upper body plyometric is a medicine throw or push-up, is it right? So to do this one, your bench press 1RM should be at least 1 times your body mass. Oh, so that case, right? Oh, I'm sorry. The body weight for larger athlete does weight over 220 pounds, right? So 220 pounds is athlete, is their bench press 220. I think that's good, right? Or at least again 1.5 times body weight for smaller athlete, right? So less than 220 pounds. So how about Taji? Could you help me again? I believe you are less than 220 pounds, is right? But how about your bench press 1RM is at least 1.5 times? Oh, I think Taji is busy. Oh, Okay. See, so Taji's case, he can do jump plyometric, but he cannot do upper body. What is this? Plyometric. Doesn't make sense. So that case, oh, Taji, you need the upper body plyometric. That case, we should focus your bench press one arm. Doesn't make sense. Just to do plyometric. Yeah, doesn't make sense. And an alternative measure of a prerequisite upper body strength is the ability to perform, oh my goodness, 5 clap push-up in a row. How about, Taji said, no. How about Taji? Could you perform 5 clap push-up in a row? That case, maybe. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I believe not right. This is right. Is it not right? I think this one. So anyway, I don't know, but that you can do. So this is why even our kinesiology made student, oh my goodness, Dr. Won, my strength is not that much. So I think plyometric, I should be low intensity, low volume, low frequency, or I had better increase my strength and maybe I can exercise plyometric. So class doesn't make sense, doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know, I can show you. Right. I think she's good, is right. 3, 5. Right. So how about class? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think it's no time. So yeah, so that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. And another one, speed is important too. So for lower body plyometric, the athlete should be able to perform a 5 repetition of the squat with 60% body weight in 5 seconds or less. So doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Is right. This is another prerequisite, right? You need the speed too. Right? To satisfy the speed requirement for upper body parameter, the athlete should be able to perform 5 repetitions of the bench press with 60% body weight in a 5 seconds or less. So how about class? Doesn't make sense. So how about, I think there are no way I can lift 1.5 times my squat. Maybe this is kind of like a prerequisite. So using this speed one. How about class? Doesn't make sense. You can try this one, right? Using your body mass, 60% of your body mass. But how about, I think I do not have time. So how about class? How many slides I have? Today 47 already. Okay, yeah. So I'm just talk about just and how about class? No, I just keep going. So pre-training evaluation athlete. So how about balance, right? Next one is balance. So we have a strength and speed is right now balance. Right? So each test position must be held for 30 seconds. Test should be performed on the same surface drill. An athlete beginning primary training for the first time must stand on one leg for 30 seconds without falling. How about here? And another one, a single leg half squat for 30 seconds without falling. So maybe this is like a standing is okay, but if you try single leg half squat, it's not really easy. Not really easy. So for example, in-person strength and conditioning class, we try all of them this one. So that case, you can distinguish who can do plyometric, who cannot do plyometric. Usually this case, only 2 or 3 students per like a 30 to 40 number of students can do even our kinesiology major student. Doesn't make sense, doesn't make sense. So this should be high quality exercise, training. And another one, athlete weight more than 220 pounds may be an increased risk for injury when performing primary training. And not perform, that should not. So doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. If they have a higher, heavier than 220, but they have injured because trainer use is a high, higher than 18-inch that what is the box, it can be sued. It can be sued. So it's a reliability issue. So doesn't make sense. And how about class landing surface? How about class? I just let you know, right? So other slide doesn't have any quiz question. So please read other slide, please read. But this slide has important thing is that I just put here, right? So a depth jump is the higher intensity of plyometric. That is kind of my opinion, right? So using what is PowerPoint. Right? So I need to cover this other part, right? So other one, I believe is we can take only 5 or 6 slides. If you read, I think it's totally understandable. Just I want to show depth jump is high intensity. Most intensity plyometric is kind of a depth jump, right? Just I want to show you. So how about other slide? You have only 5, 6. It's very simple one. So please just read. I think it'll be okay. It'll be okay.